This episode of the Fight Within podcast is presented to you by Meguiar's. For over 115 years, Meguiar's has been carefully creating and producing advanced formulas with cutting-edge chemistry to deliver a show car perfect appearance. Whether you're showing on the fairway, finalizing your car for auction, or simply getting your beloved car ready for a weekend drive, Meguiar's is ready to help with their premium car care products to make every automotive surface look its absolute best. Meguiar's, reflect your passion. Make sure to visit them at meguiars.com.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Fight Within podcast. Today's guest is a gentleman that I've actually known for a little while, Mr. Kevin Hernandez, fitness specialist and owner.
Turna.
Yeah, Turna Fitness.
What's
Thanks
up?
for
What
coming
do,
on,
guys?
man.
Thanks for having me here today.
Of course.
Really appreciate the time and the coffee, Ben.
I know, this coffee is like waking me up now.
I want to say it's probably better than Starbucks, so.
I've never heard of them.
Freaking
Yeah, so, I mean, fitness specialist, a.k.a. personal trainer. What kind of led you to where you're at now in your journey?
Honestly, you know, it's been a quite interesting journey for myself. So I have a background in sports. I grew up playing soccer, basketball, baseball, football, volleyball, you name it. So after graduating high school, you know, attended Santa Ana High School. So after graduating, I really didn't know what to do with my life. I was one of those, should I go to the Marines? Should I go to college? So I finally get a call from Golden West and OCC to go check out their schools to go play football. So after I graduated, I decided to go check out OCC. I was like, okay, it's away from the hood, from Santa Ana. I'm going to meet new people, and I'm going to belong to a new team. So I checked out OCC, tried out, made the team. I was actually paying for them for 1 year. So that led to staying in school and not going into the military. So I was like, damn, I got a new journey. I'm still doing my passion, a new sport. I'm in school and I'm getting paid to go to school. So I finished my AA, decided to go to Cal State Fullerton. Actually, cut that out. Decided to go to Cal State Long Beach. And I wanted to major in something that was related to sports, you know, and that was kinesiology. So started majoring in kinesiology, fell in love, learned everything about the body. And after I graduated college, I was like, what's next? You know, so I didn't even know what to do after college. So I decided, I was like, man, I'm going to be a cop. I'm going to work for the county. I'm going to be a bartender. I'm going to be a server. So I had multiple jobs, multiple hats. And one of the things I noticed, I still had the passion for fitness, but also had the passion of giving back and helping people. So I had a roommate at the time, and he was like, yo, like, why don't you just start training people? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't even know how to start a business. I don't know how to train people. You know, so I got more involved. I started competing. I started doing men's physique. I really wanted to take it to the next level. So now I have a college degree. I started competing in the men's physique division. I started understanding a little bit more nutrition. So I finally gave it a shot, and I was like, well, I love helping people and I love fitness. And it all started in my mom's garage. So I started taking clients. I was like, well, let me just advertise myself on social media as a trainer and see who wants to train under my belt. Started training a few people under my belt at my mom's garage, and I was like, this is pretty cool. You know, like, I actually enjoy helping people with their health, with their fitness, and their overall goals. And that garage, believe it or not, started picking up. I started getting 4, 5, 6, 7 clients. Next thing you know, I had like 10 clients coming to my house in my mom's garage with the minimal setup. So I needed to branch out. I was like, damn, like, what do I do next? Yeah. So I reached out to a trainer that I knew that I met through competing, and I was like, hey, what do you train? You know, like, how do I get started? She's like, hey, I train at a private gym. This is how you get started, but this is how much we charge for an overhead. So I was like, damn, I don't have that type of money. But I was like, I knew that was my passion, and I wanted to get started. So I was like, whatever, I'll figure it out, you know? So I started training out of a private facility, and the name Turna came around because I needed to start a business name. So I was like, Well, everyone knew me as Turna, and how that came about was I used to walk into the gyms and people were like, damn, we see you every day, and we notice how passionate you are about training. You're like a head turner. Like, people actually sit down and watch you train with these older guys. And my trainer at the time was like, dude, we're just going to call you Turna. And that's how the name came about, Turna. So I was actually came from head Turna, turned into Turna. I started the business, and I was like, well, what should I name my business? And I was like, Turna Fitness. But what does Turna really mean? You know? So I was like sitting down for a couple of days and a couple, months, and I was like, well, Turna, what really means is you're turning people's life around to pursue happiness, pursue whatever lifestyle they want to live. And I just, a catchy name that I was like, people are always going to ask me, what does Turna mean? So once I give you what the meaning is, turning people's lives around, and that's what I'm passionate about, and that's how I got started, and that's how I got into the business.
I had no idea that's
dope.
what Turna meant until I think it was like Billy that told me. I was like, is that his name? Because when he introduced me to you, oh, hey, I'm Kevin. I was like, who the heck is Turna then? I was like, is that his last name? And then I saw your Instagram. I was like, where's Turna?
No, man, my last name's Hernandez, but everyone knows me as Turna, and that's what I want everyone to know me as.
Yeah.
And till this day, like, when I introduce myself to anyone, I always say Kevin Turna. And the only reason I give that Turna is because it correlates to my business. And so when they say Turna, what does Turna mean? Like, I want you to think about it. I want you to think if it's my last name, or is it his business name, or where does it come from?
Yeah.
And then once you actually figure it out, you're like, you have like that moment, like, that's what it really means.
Yeah.
But when did it click for you? Because there's a lot of people, me, myself included, back in the day, where you don't know what to do, and you're like, I'm passionate about this, but I can't do this anymore. I played at OCC for a year. Then I had my son, got kicked out. So I was like, my athletic dreams are over, and I do not know what to do. Like, I know I have to take care of this kid, but I don't know what to do. So, like, when did it click for you when you were like, okay, I'm not going to be a chef. I'm not going to be a police officer. I'm training people. Was it like your first client? When was it?
At the time, I had 3 jobs. I was working for the county as a foster youth case manager. I was a bartender on the weekends, and then I started training.
All at the same time?
All 3 have one thing in common. We all service people.
Yeah.
So I knew I had a passion of servicing people and giving back to people, customer service. So it all clicked when I was like, damn, if my mom can start her own business, being an immigrant from Guatemala, how come I can't start that?
Yeah.
And start my own business. I was like, she came here, she cleaned houses for 20-something years under her own account. If she can work for herself, why can't I start my own business and work for myself? So I decided just to give in my 2 weeks on both jobs. And I was like, you're going to either sink or you're going to swim. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out.
No plan.
No plan.
Like, I'm done.
I was like, no. I was just going all in. And I was like, I didn't work for any corporate gyms. I didn't work for 24, LA Fitness, or Equinox. I just went from a garage, small little setting with minimal equipment to a big studio. And we're like, no business experience. I just knew I knew how to talk to people, and I knew how to, give customer service. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out. So on my breaks, I would just call gyms. I would call trainers, and I'll pretend I was a client. And I would just pick their knowledge and information and how they sell, their sales strategies. And I was like, well, I'm going to take this, guys. I'm going to take that, guys. I'm going to take this information. And I just started throwing it all into one little basket. And that's how I created my business, just calling people.
Where was that? I love, this is one of my favorite questions to ask, because you had mentioned that, 1, you went all in, and then 2, you were calling out other gyms to find out what they did. That is motivation. That's self-motivation. That's 100%. Hunger. Where do you get that from?
Dude, I mean, I just said, coming from the streets, man, just like growing up in Santa Ana, the hustle mentality, survival mode, just trying to figure out how you're going to put a roof over your head and just trying to put a buck in your pocket, So knowing as a kid, like, and looking back at my childhood, is like having a single parent was a struggle, So, just trying to have money in your pocket, like if it was either selling cans or selling candy out of my apartment, like I knew I was meant for being a customer service and being a business owner from that previous experience as a child. So that's where it comes from. And then just seeing my mom hustle every day, man, just like getting up, speaking minimal English and running a successful business.
So you had that example.
Yeah, so I had
there.
mom example from
Yeah.
day one.
Why don't you think more and more, not that it's a bad thing, but more and more immigrants don't have that mentality. Like I love my parents. They're great, but
Yeah.
they wanted to come here to get a secure job with benefits and something with insurance that would take care of their family. Not that that's bad, but I'm very much like you. Like I knew that I did not want to work for someone else.
Yeah.
I didn't want someone telling me when to clock in and clock out.
So I explained, because sometimes I go back and I do a lot of like presentations for these younger kids, and looking back, I think we live in a bubble,
Sure.
and we don't know how to get out of that bubble, and that bubble inside is called your neighborhood. So my neighborhood was Santa Ana.
Yeah.
So the first thing I said was, I'm not going to go to Santa Ana College. Why? Because it's the same shit. So I wanted to get out of that bubble. So I was like, I'm going to go away where I don't know people. It's multiple cultures. So I need to diversify it and learn how to talk to whites, blacks, Asians, different types of Hispanics, because Santa Ana is just all Hispanics. So I needed to get out of the bubble. So I got away from everyone. So I always say, if you can get away and choose a school, a community college, or a job away from your neighborhood, you're going to learn from other people. So getting outside the bubble is getting outside your comfort zone. And I think that's what broke me to, learn from others and see how other people run, their life, or they run their businesses, so. And everybody just wants you to, go to college, get a 9 to 5, and stick to the same routine. So I knew I was different from day one. I knew I wasn't going to work for anyone else.
It's because it's safe, and people like comfort and safeness, and it's cliche and it's so true, but not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. It's not for everyone. Like you'll hear people or books or freaking all the little motivational coaches and speakers, and they'll say, oh, anyone can do it. That's not true. Like, that is not true.
I think everyone wants to do it.
Yeah, it's just it's a different life. Like, and there's nothing wrong with having the 9 to 5 or the security, but for some people, like the three of us in this room, I would lose my mind if I had a 9 to 5.
But it's funny because now, like, I talk to the new millennials, they don't want to work for anyone else.
That's just because they're spoiled.
Yeah, they want to work for themselves. Like you said, it's security. You got that security paycheck, and you don't have to hustle for anything. You can go to work and you know that, hey, I will have a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month.
Yeah.
Rather than running your own business, you're like, you got to play multiple hats, and you don't know where your business is going to be tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, you don't know if that check's come in the same amount, less, if you
100%.
even get one.
But I think that's what I love, like that challenge. Like, I took a hit, so how do I get up again? So I've taken multiple hits as a kid growing up in the neighborhood. So I was able to manage gangs, getting away from gangs. I was able to manage to get away from drugs. I was able to manage to get away from even, incarcerated. So having that experience as a self-employed business owner, I'm able to take a bunch of hits, and I know that that's going to fire me up to, grow my business or get ahead.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's a good mentality to take, because you're going to fail. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to get beat up. You're going to have all these different things that happen. But if you can't get up, then you don't belong being like a business owner.
100%.
When you made that leap from mom's garage to private studio, what'd you do? This is a question that I like people to answer in different industries, but what did you do to continue to grow your business? You said you've never done it. You didn't know. You just knew you had a passion for it. So what did you do in order to help grow your business at that time?
It's funny. So, like I said, I did multiple calls. I would go to different studios, just check out how they run their business. At the time, I actually met my wife. And my wife, I know she's going to listen to this. She was actually a fitness instructor as well, a fitness specialist at 24 Hour Fitness. So I kind of used her. I was like, well, she knows how to run the system. She knows everything. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So I will ask her multiple questions. I was like, I know we're dating. So I was like, okay, what time do you go in? How do you do this assessment with this client? How do you charge your clients? How do you measure their body fat? How do you schedule them? So I actually used her, and now she's married to me, so I love you. But to grow my business. And we work together, we train together, and we both run Turna Fitness together. And guess what? It's probably a blessing in the sky, but she was there from day one, and I'm able to grow this business with her. So
that's cool. That I think for a lot of people that are on the fence, whether it's in fitness or marketing or coffee or retail, I think there's so many people that they're kind of like what you described, right? They have this idea, or they know that their passion is to do X, Y, and Z, but they don't know how to take that leap. And I think it's something that's so beneficial to point out that it doesn't always matter, like if you have a plan, right? It's just deciding to jump in.
100%. Like I had a question today. I'm running a full marathon. They're like, hey, Kev, like, what made you change? Like, what happened? What's going on with your life? Like, why a marathon out of? It's like, dude, you just got to start.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know anything about it. But guess what? I've been able to build so many relationships with training that I know someone that's done this sport. I just got to reach out. I'm going to fail, but guess what? That failure is going to make me a better runner and it's going to get me to my goal. So being able to network, being able to fail, learning from your own failures, like you're just going to succeed. So I think the biggest thing that we have is fear. But once you tell yourself, like, whatever happens and you enjoy that journey, and that process, which is the most important part of the whole situation, and you're gonna jump forward and start.
That's awesome. Just jumping in.
Just jumping in.
That's the biggest thing too. Is like fear holds you back from so much. Like I was just thinking about it this past weekend. Like I'm in the process of moving out right now, and I'm like why don't I have as many customers as I'd like, or why don't I have a team? That why haven't I built a team? And I'm asking myself all these questions, like why this and why that, and it's just like because you haven't asked or you haven't done it. And then I look at my network and the people that I know, and I'm like, I could 1,000% build a team for my company. I can 1,000% like not hesitate. Like there was, for the longest time, it was probably a month, Ben was like, hey, we should take these shirts off, or we should take these things off. And I don't know why I was scared, but I was like, nah. I would always make excuses like, I got to do this first for the podcast website. And then I finally took them down, and I was like, that wasn't hard at all. Like, I need to stop. What's the right word? Procrastinating.
Yeah. I remember a teacher telling me one thing, and so like when you start something, like, or you want to go ahead and do something, most of the people in your head, people are going to be like, oh, people are going to tell me no. But how do you know they're going to tell you no? Like until you ask or even jump ahead. Like even if they tell you no, you're going to learn something from that no. How did I ask that question? Can I change that question? How do I take that approach? You're learning from that scenario. Well, next person that you encounter, I might change my business strategy with this person instead of, bringing out numbers right away. I'm gonna sell them in a different strategy. So, but if you're like, no, they're gonna say no right away, you're already failing there. You're telling yourself that I'm not gonna get ahead. I'm not gonna jump forward. So having a positive mindset and just telling yourself like, whatever happens in this situation, I'm gonna learn from it. I'm gonna take it to the next one, and then, maybe tweak it a little bit, change it a little bit, and then take it to the next one. And it's just a process, and you're just gonna get better with time.
That is so true. Fear, man. Fear drives in that driver's seat for everything. And I see it all the time. Like I don't think I ever dealt with the fear component when it comes to my business, because I just jumped. Like I didn't have a choice.
Yeah,
so for me it was a little
your journey. So.
Yeah, for me it's a little different, because people will ask me and I'm like, I don't have like an aha moment. I was forced and I had to jump because I didn't want to waste my money.
Yeah.
There's like no glamorous thing. I just had to. So fear never drove me, but what fear did do to me after we got going was the ability to make business decisions, because I was too afraid of what employee A, B, and C would think. And the second I got rid of that is like my business started to go here. My mental capacity to be able to deal with things on a daily basis started to go from here. And it was just one of those things where the fear, if you let it drive you, it's going to drive you to do some gnarly, stupid things. But fear can also drive you to do some awesome things.
100%.
Like fear in business and fear in life is a great tool if we use it to be a tool versus a weight and a hindrance and drags you down.
I think you start questioning everything. Like, I'm looking at the market right now, and I'm like, these rent prices are crazy right now. Like, how am I going to afford to live here? How am I going to run my business? And then it halts you until you get up and decide to say, no, I'm going to
I always
move
say,
forward.
just figure it out, man. Rent goes out. Like, hey, I tell my wife, like, if everything goes up or everything skyrockets, shit, we'll figure it out. You know?
Get another
But
client.
that's the mindset you got to have. Like, you have to figure it out. You know, now if you're like, damn, like, it's going up, I don't know. If I have to get a second job, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
To pay that bill or pay that rent. But you have to figure out, and you just got to move forward with it.
Yeah. What do you do to stay motivated now? Because I think when like anyone gets started on anything in the beginning, it's like, cool, I got 2 clients, I got 3 clients, I got 4 clients. Now you have a legit business that you're running with name recognition. So like, what motivates you now as opposed to what motivated you
Like
when you
in the
got started?
business aspect or in the training aspect?
In the business aspect.
Honestly, the biggest thing in the business aspect is just networking, learning from other people what they do in their business. So like in my training business, I've been able to meet you. You know? I've been able to meet Ben. So you guys run 2 different types of businesses than what I run.
Yeah.
But learning something from him and incorporating it into my business, it's a big win for myself.
Yeah.
You know, and that relationship, that's what motivates me, because I'm able to open the door to a lot of people. So when I network, the first thing I say is like, hey, come down to my gym. Let me give you a week worth of training sessions. Who doesn't want to come into the gym and get in shape?
Yeah.
Especially with a trainer like myself. I build that business relationship there from day one to, what do you do for business? Oh, teach me this, teach me that. And I'll teach you whatever I know.
Yeah.
We cross market each other, but that's what motivates me. I'm always learning. I don't stop. And, you know, I think that's what motivates me on a day to day. And that's what brought me into the seat today.
That's so true. Because without your training business, you wouldn't know Manny.
Correct.
And then Manny wouldn't have introduced Billy to you.
Correct.
And then Billy wouldn't have introduced me to you.
See, it's
crazy.
a small circle. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But it's all through the training business.
Yeah.
How I've been able to meet a lot of people and train a lot of people.
I've met other trainers that aren't as open as you, that aren't like, hey, ask me a question and I'll teach you. Why do you think that is? Do they have some like secret formula? Or?
That question.
That is a great question.
Secret formula.
There's no secret formula. I think a lot of the times I'm an open book, man. You know, like I know, you know, from the day one, like I want to be an open book to anyone.
Yeah.
Like whatever question, if I have the answer, I'll give it to you. If I don't, I'll find someone that has the answer. But there's no secret, you know,
Nice
questions.
Yes.
There's, but to answer your question, I knew I was always open to helping people out. And
Yeah.
to this day, if there's a new trainer that needs the help, I know I've been through the struggles. I just want to make their journey a lot more smoother. You know, so if I've been there, you know, like, hey, I've been here. This was my scenario. This is what happened to me. This is what is going to happen. You know, do it this way. You know, it's going to save you 2 years of wasting your time.
Yeah.
Even, you know, because I had to do the dirty work. So if I can help someone and see them succeed, I'm succeeding too.
Yeah.
So it makes me happy, and that what motivates me as well.
I'll say, well, it shows your character and who you are.
Yeah.
Because the people that you're referring to, Manny, is like, those are the ones that are, they're usually the ones looking out for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Trying to drive the nicest car, trying to be the biggest douche in the planet, trying to do all these things where it's like, dude, just help somebody. It's, yeah, you're competition, but competition is great.
100%.
Like, the more you're winning, the more the fitness industry is winning, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's a mentality people don't have. And we've talked about it, like, when it comes to my business. I've never understood that mentality. And it's, dude, if you can help someone, just be a good
Because
person.
that person's going to talk about you. So you're like, hey, who helped you out in your business? Well, Turna Fitness helped me out. Well, guess what? Now that trainer knows who I am.
Yeah.
You know, and it just, once you help that one person, it just leads on to the next. And so I've always told myself from day one, I'm going to be open book. If someone has a question, I'll answer, I'll help them out. And that's the thing about trainers, you know, they all want to be, some of them are closed-minded, but some, you know, where I'm at today, we're all kind of help each other out. And that's what it should be about. You know, we're there for one purpose, and that's to help other people, to change their lives around, to help them with their health, you know, with their health, their fitness journeys. But when you're closed-minded and you're like, nah, I'm better than you, or I'm a social media influencer that has over 100,000, I can't show you this, or I can't show you how to edit, or I can't show you how to do a video shoot, then they have an ego.
They're just selfish.
You know, so I was like, well, that's why your business is down. That's why you have 5 clients. Rather, someone like myself that has over 40, 50 clients, what are you doing? But you're not in social, hey, customer service. You know, people gravitate towards that.
Yeah.
I'm an open book. I'm here to help, not to, you know, take your business away.
Yeah. Well, to go off of that before we wrap up, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, but I think to your point, and just from the outside looking in, to kind of be like a word of encouragement to you also, is like from the first time I met you in the gym, like I never felt like you were, I mean, you mess with me just because I'm like friends with like your friends, right? So the messing around gives like a special component, right? Like 100%. It makes you feel more unique, but I never felt like you were trying to sell me on anything. I never felt like you were pressuring me to do anything. I never felt any of that. It was more of a genuine, hey, I'm going to try to help this guy out, make fun of him a little bit because of how weak I am, like all that fun stuff. But
that's the whole thing, you know, like if you look at the fitness industry or people that are trying to get into working out, their biggest fear is getting into a gym because everyone's looking at them.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing was like, I want to make it a happy place. Man, I wake up, damn, I'm excited to go train with Turna Fitness and Kevin. You know, I look forward to go seeing him and getting my ass kicked. You know, so if you're waking up motivated to go train rather than, damn, I don't want to go because, you know, everyone's looking at me or they're judging me the way I'm doing certain things, like, then they stop coming. But if I make it a fun environment, exciting place where the community is good, the vibe is good, the energy is good, people are coming.
And they trust you.
And they trust me.
The trust is a huge component because there's a lot of sleazy people in all industries, but especially in the training industry, there's a lot of them that will just take your money, give you some basic workout that you could just Google, and you're like, oh, why am I not seeing results? Oh, because you're not working hard enough.
Everyone's different. I'll say, you know, we start by building relationships, you know, from day one, and that's the trust. We build that trust. And then once we build the trust, we work on, you know, if it's a new client, just, you know, like a day-to-day, like how many times you're going to commit, you know, just a strategy like that. And then, like I said, just having a fun environment, a good community, and where you're able to wake up and you're looking forward to go, it's just going to change everything. You know? So.
Well, I enjoy being able to like come in and train with you. I see how you are with a lot of the clients. I see how the trainers are at the gym. Like you said, it's a healthy place where you don't feel like that tension when you're going into a gym, or you don't feel like as an outsider going into a new gym. Sometimes, like you said, all eyes are on you. Yeah. You don't feel that at the gym, which is a testament to you and the other trainers there. But if you had to, I know some people hate this because I hate when I get it asked, but if you had to give just kind of like a quick 30-second to 1 minute, like motivational to someone listening, like, hey, if you're thinking about starting a fitness career, if you're thinking about starting any type of business, just give like a Turna special of what you would suggest to somebody that's in a position like thinking about jumping in.
Just to wrap this up, honestly, guys, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, of course, man.
For anyone out there that wants to go into this industry, don't think about it, man. You know, if you're passionate and this is what you want to do, just take that step forward and figure it out. You know, if you sink, you're going to be able to swim back up. So just jump over that hurdle, get up, get moving, and trust me, you're going to make people's lives a lot different once you take your passion into your career.
I like that. Passion in a career. Where can people find you if they want to get a hold of you?
You can follow me on turnafitness.com. Also on Instagram, I'm under Turna Fitness. So just give us a follow. You know, like I said, I appreciate you guys having me here today. Hopefully this podcast reaches out to some of you and inspires some of you guys to get up and moving and, you know, just get over your fears too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming on. Thanks for having us, Ben.
Thank you.
Another
Mr. Manny.
episode.
I'm cracked out right now.
I know. This coffee's insane. It's
Dude,
like my second
I'm
cup.
like, let's get up.
All right. Well, remember, guys, that everything was impossible until someone did it.
Follow me at Turna Fitness.